All right, let's talk about something really important today. We're going to pull back the curtain on the new playbook that scammers are using, a playbook that's powered by AI and is aimed directly at your life savings.
So let's just dive right in with a number. 7. That's it, just 7. That's how many times reports of imposter scams costing older adults over $100,000 have multiplied since just 2020. This isn't just some small trend, you guys. It's a full-blown epidemic.
So why is this happening? Why the huge explosion in fraud? Well, it's because the entire game has changed. I mean, forget those old, kind of clunky emails with bad spelling. AI is now supercharging these attacks, making them way more personal, way more polished, and dangerously believable.
You know, at the very heart of every single one of these scams is a tactic called social engineering. It's basically the psychological game that scammers play to mess with your trust and prey on your emotions. It's not about hacking your computer, it's about hacking you.
And you're probably thinking all these new scams must start with some crazy email or weird pop-up, right? But check this out. For older adults, 41% of the most devastating, high-loss scams still begin with something surprisingly low-tech, a simple phone call. That's usually the front door for these criminals.
So how does that happen? I mean, how do we get from a simple pop-up or a phone call to someone losing their life savings? To really get it, we need to look at the anatomy of these scams. Let's walk through a real-life story. This isn't just theory. This actually happened to a woman named Helen.
Okay, so this is Helen, and the scammers, they caught her at one of the most vulnerable moments imaginable. She was grieving, just sitting at her computer reading her sister's online obituary. And in that moment, her screen just froze. The trap was set.
And then, this. A loud, booming voice just blasts from her computer speakers with this urgent, terrifying command. The goal here is really simple. Create instant, overwhelming panic so that you can't possibly think straight. From there, they just skillfully walked her right down their playbook step by step. It started with that fake virus alert, which told her to call a fake technician, who then passed her along to a fake bank official. And all of them were pushing her, creating this terrifying urgency to get her to drain her own bank accounts.
Now, I want you to take every single step of what happened to Helen and imagine putting it on steroids with artificial intelligence. Because that's the new reality we're in. AI is making these scams infinitely more sophisticated and so much harder to spot.
One of the scariest new tools they have in their arsenal is deepfake technology. All they need is a tiny audio clip of someone's voice from social media, and they can clone it. They can make it sound exactly like your grandchild or your boss, anyone you trust, and then they use that voice to create a fake emergency that sounds absolutely, terrifyingly real.
And this right here, this is why all the old advice we used to get just doesn't work anymore. We were always told, oh, look for spelling errors. But AI, it creates flawless, perfectly personalized attacks. It can even make fake websites that look so real, they're almost impossible to tell apart from the real thing.
And the results? Well, they're chilling. These AI-powered phishing emails are 4.5 times more likely to get someone to click on a dangerous link. This technology isn't just a theory anymore. It works, and the bad guys are using it every day.
The deception gets even deeper. The technology is so advanced now that AI-generated IDs are often more convincing than actual physical forgeries, and their use in fraud has just skyrocketed, up 195% across the globe.
Okay, so that's the threat. It's big, it's sophisticated, and it's scary. So what on earth do we do about it? How do you build a strong digital defense? Let's break down the critical steps you can take right now to protect yourself and your family.
Your absolute first line of defense is just recognizing the red flags. And listen, if you only burn one thing into your memory today, please make it this: a manufactured sense of urgency. Scammers create a fake crisis for one reason and one reason only: to stop you from thinking clearly and from calling someone you trust.
So what if it happens to you? Your screen freezes. You get that scary pop-up just like Helen did. Here is your immediate action plan. First, do not under any circumstances call any number you see on the screen. Try to close your browser. If that doesn't work, just shut down and restart your whole computer. Then, you call someone you trust for a second opinion.
And please, remember this golden rule above all else. Legitimate tech companies like Microsoft or Apple will never, ever put a phone number in an error message, and they will never, ever cold call you about a problem with your computer. So if you see a phone number in a pop-up, it is a scam. 100% of the time, no exceptions.
Protecting yourself is, of course, the vital first step. But you know what? The fight doesn't end there.
The next step is knowing how to report these attacks, because that's how we help protect our entire community from these criminals.
I know it might feel like a hassle, but reporting these crimes is so important. Every single report, even if it was just an attempt, gives law enforcement the data they need to start seeing patterns, to track down these criminal networks, and ultimately to bring them to justice.
And please, remember this, you are not alone in this fight. Not at all. For direct personal help, you can call this number and actually speak to trained fraud specialists, and it's completely free. They can give you support and guide you on what to do next.
So you've got the playbook now. You know the tactics, you know the red flags. That leaves us with one final and maybe the most important question of all. Who is the one person in your life you're going to share this with to help keep them safe? Because spreading this knowledge, well, that's our single best defense.